Let me walk you through one of these homework problems where they take a look at both traditional base costing and ABC costing so you can see the difference as well as see how it's applied to multiple areas and multiple products. In exercise 4-3, we go through first activity based costing. The first step is to find that activity rate. We need to find those activity rates by cost pool. To do that, we're going to take estimated over estimated. So when I look at the different cost pools, we have a cutting and a design. The cutting is based on machine hours and the design is based on setups. So for cutting, what I'm going to do is take the total activity, total overhead, which is $360,000 that you can see, and I'm going to divide that by the total machine hours because it's based on machine hours. Some of these are just tricky because you got to read through that paragraph and pull out that information you need. So you can see in that last sentence how it tells me that overhead is allocated to the cutting cost pool and the design cost pool separately. So that means my activity rate for that cutting is $1.80 per machine hour. Now let's look at design. Design, it tells me again in that last sentence that the amount of overhead allocated is $585,000. I take that divided by the total number of setups, which is 1,500. That will tell me my activity rate is $390 per setup. The next thing we want to do is apply that to our products. So we have two products here, a wool product line and a cotton product line. So I can then pull out, let's look at the wool one first. We have two different areas that we're looking at, the cutting and the design. Under the wool product, we have 100,000 hours that go into that cutting piece based on machine hour. So we're going to take that and times it by the $1.80, which would give us 180,000. Under the design area, you can see that the wool product accounts for 1,000 of those setups. We multiply that by the design activity rate, and that should equal 390,000. Therefore, in total, what should be applied to the wool for overhead is 570,000. Now let's look at the cotton piece. Again, we break it into our two activities, and we're going to look at how much the cotton accounts for each of these. The cutting is still 1,000, so we're going to times that by that $1.80. That doesn't change. But you can see the design area, the cotton only takes 500 setups. So I multiply that by that activity rate, and it should be 195. So the amount of total overhead that should be applied to cotton would be 375. Now let's take a look at what if we would have used that traditional base costing. Remember, traditional base costing just takes your total estimated overhead, which I can get from that first line. That traditional base costing, the total overhead that we expect is $945,000. I'm going to go ahead and divide that by my total. I have to read through, and it tells me it's based on direct labor hours if I were going to do it in total, which is 450,000. Now I can multiply that out, and it's going to tell me my predetermined overhead rate under the traditional base costing would be $210 per direct labor hour. So now I'm going to go back and split that out between wool and cotton. And if you read through the paragraph, it does tell you that that I believe it's split evenly. Therefore, we're going to apply that $450,000. We're just going to, or 450,000 hours, we split between wool and cotton. And we're going to multiply that by the 210. And you'll see the amount that we apply under traditional base costing would be $472,500 under each product. So if we use this to cost our product and therefore also used it to say how much we should sell it for, you can see, if I scroll up, how different that is from our traditional base costing, especially the wool area where we should have done 570 and we're only applying 472, or the reverse effect under cotton when really I should probably be applying $375,000 in overhead, but I'm applying much more. So our cotton line is most likely priced incorrectly. So hopefully that helps. If you have additional questions, please let me know.